maybe rush hour on a Friday wasn't the day to test a car that hadn't really been driven in over a year. So today I'm gonna see what's going on with the Avalon. I'm waiting on a few parts to show up for the CRX. They should show up today, but I don't know what time. So I came over to the Avalon to see if I can pull some codes, but it is raining, so I'm gonna get a little bit wet. I'm gonna pop the hood, put a battery on it, see if I can make it come alive and get some codes out of it. Oh shoot, it needs hood struts. Maybe that's something I can do today, because I'm definitely gonna need that. I hope that's good enough and stable enough. All right. Since I know the battery is dead or nearly dead, I just hooked it up to hopefully give it enough juice to power the computers and read any codes. And this is under the dash, right above the brake and accelerator, and the port is right here. So I'm gonna plug up my little scanner and see what's going on. Let's see if it wakes up. Okay. It woke up. Scan tool is pairing now. With smart key or without smart key? I think with smart key. Laser cruise. This had laser cruise back in 06. I don't know if it has laser cruise. Well, I'm gonna do with laser cruise. Daggum. VSC, it does have VSC. Unable to read codes. I don't think I have enough juice. All right, they got 4 codes found. Let's see what they are. Low supply voltage, that makes sense. What else? It's been sitting so long with low battery that I think all codes have been erased. So I'm gonna see if I can get it started long enough for some codes to be generated, because I know there are some issues. So I got it jumped with the help of the Civic. I'm gonna let it run and see if any codes are generated. That's a new noise. So I put the OBD2 scanner to live data, make sure the alternator, which I replaced, is still putting out good voltage. And it looks like it is. The control module voltage is at above 14. I'm gonna see if I can pull codes while it's idling. 1 engine code found. That's what I'm looking for. Cylinder 6 misfire detected. All right, that's a starting point at least. Now I'm gonna read the whole system, see what else comes up. Now I have 11 codes found. Brake light switch, low power supply voltage, ABS control malfunction. Well, these are some advanced stability control things. Lost communication with yaw rate sensor module, engine module communication bus off. A lot of these may be from low voltage, so I can clear them. My top priority will be the cylinder 6 misfire. So I will erase the codes, start looking into what's wrong with cylinder 6. That may be enough for a successful inspection. Need to learn how to reset the maintenance light. And it looks like you just turn on the ignition, show the odometer, not the trip meter. And well, we'll see if it comes back on. Turn off ignition. Hold the trip reset knob and turn on the ignition, but don't start the engine. It did. Maintenance off. Okay, cool. I don't think it will restart. Let's see. Yeah, not enough juice. But that's enough to go off. I'm good. Maybe I'll get a new battery, or at least take this one and charge it. All right, I know something now. Hey y'all. Hey Cheese. Hey Cheese. So you can see I got the hood propped up, but hopefully I'm gonna fix that. Seems like everything I work on needs hood struts. Yeah, these look like you just pop them off and pop the new ones on. They seem to be a good fit, and they actually seem to be the identical ones. So I decided to take the clip off. Yeah, that way you don't gotta fight with it. All right, let's put the new one on. This one looks different, and it's acting different. All right, let's see what. Fantastic. And I believe this is cylinder 6. I believe it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm not sure if this ignition coil has been replaced. But I do see that there is a, oh, this plug is messed up. Eesh. And there is oil on the ignition coil. So that's valve covers and the little seals around it. So I thought this was going to be a quick swap, but wait a minute, is that the way it's supposed to look? But with that oil in there, on the top of that spark, wait a minute, this came apart. That's not how it's supposed to look, because that is not supposed to look like that. I have a new one in the car, I'm gonna go look at it. So this is the new one, and yeah, this one is having issues. So when I come back with more tools, I will be able to replace that. So now I'm gonna take the battery out and go get a new one. This car has all kinds of trouble. Look at this battery terminal. It doesn't look right. See what I mean? That is not good. So I'm going to take a picture of that terminal, see if I can get one like it. See if I can get this off. Oh no, this may be a problem. So I went and picked up something that I hope will let me hold on to this such that I can get enough torque on that nut to take it off. I got it. I broke it free. So now the question is this the right thread size for the terminal I picked up at the store? So I picked up these at Advance, Die Hard 45146, and I will let you know if it works for the positive terminal of a 2006 Avalon. See, this fits perfectly, but I gotta make sure it'll fit on the positive terminal. And it did not. The terminal that fit the positive one had the threads that matched the negative terminal and vice versa. But I had some stuff in the car that would help. But thankfully, I had some nuts and washers that would fit this. So, even though it's a little sloppy, it'll get me by today without having to go back to the store. All right, now I can put the new battery in. Now we can see if we can get the rest of the ignition coil out. If I fire it up and I don't get the cylinder 6 misfire, I will call today a success. Well, there's a spring. And there's the rest of it. And yep, there's oil down there on the spark plug. Now I just got to cut this off. The fact that multiple of these ignition coil connectors are messed up does not make me feel too good. So here's the new one, Denso 673-1309. And they look the same up here, but I'm not sure. No, they're the same length. But let me take out the spark plug, see what it looks like. Ooh, and there's lots of oil in there. So this spark plug, I would say, is ruined. Probably from not getting good spark because of the bad ignition coil. I'm still tempted to try and start it up, but I'm not optimistic about this guy. So I cleaned it off a little bit just so I can install it and see if the code goes away. But in the future, I'm going to do all new spark plugs, valve cover gaskets. It looks like I have a mismatch of ignition coils. If I get a code, I'll replace one of them, but let's pop this back in and see if it starts with the new battery and the code doesn't come back. Ah, there we go. All right, and there is no clip on this anymore. Reconnect the battery. All right, let's see what we got. I don't know what's going on now because it wouldn't even turn over. It was dead. I think it was a computer thing. I hopped back in, not expecting it to start right up, but it did. I think the computer just had to kind of find itself. I'm tempted to drive it, but with that connector not being secure, I'm a little hesitant. Last time after I drove it, and immediately upon restart after it's sitting, had the check engine light, but now I do not have one. And it is a smooth, that engine is so smooth. So now I got to put some miles on it to see what other problems I have, because all the other warning lights went off, which is good, but I do have that leak. It'll be good to do the valve covers because got that leak there, and I imagine the back is leaking too, but this is going to be fun. I've never done the valve covers on a V6 front wheel drive car. So even though I hit a few snags, I did achieve what I wanted to achieve today, and that is replacing the ignition coil and seeing if the code went away. But I was right back at it the very next day because I wanted to get this car home with all my tools. I drove this thing over to the Avalon today, and it is a fantastic drive. I even listed it for sale, but then I found another coolant leak, and I think it's a big one. Well, it's a very, very, very small leak, but to fix it will be a big task. But that's not the goal for today. We're gonna drive this home. So I went to the DMV this morning to get temporary tags so that I could drive this to the house legally. They have these security bits on it. So I think the back side is a 10mm nut, I think. So I picked up this security bit kit. Well, I understand why some people would do this, but it just makes it annoying. So now I can leave the X5 over here, take this home and fix it up. What is that? I wasn't even aware. Is that a window shade thingy? I'll investigate. But yeah, let's see if this thing will make it to my house. I need to bleed the coolant system. I heard liquid flowing. You shouldn't hear it like that. No warning lights. Absolutely none. Let me see if I can back out of my mother-in-law's driveway. Nope. All right, there we go. Ooh, we get to test the AC. See if the AC works, because it's kind of warm today. All right, let's see if this thing, this AC works. Mirror's all set, and we're off. 0 warning lights. We'll really know when we get on the highway if that ignition coil was the issue. And I really hope it stays on the whole way to the house. The AC actually works. The AC works. Yeah, boy. And I just made a left turn into traffic. I'm actually impressed by its acceleration. Oh, that ignition coil definitely was the issue. So I was at 50 and I was accelerating, and it is smooth now. If I'm at 50 miles an hour and I try to accelerate, I get a crazy vibration. It's a little rough around the edges, but mechanically this car is sick. I might flush the brakes because they stop confidently, but the pedal's just a bit mushy. So I may look into that. This car is pretty sweet. Definitely rough around the edges. Like, why is that not holding up? Oil change, check the coolant. Probably has old gas in it too. So that gas has probably been in there for a year. No, I know that gas has been in there for a year because it sat at the company for over a year. Hasn't been registered for over a year and a half. You know what? I might be able to get it inspected on the way home. Satellite radio is working. I'm merging onto the highway right now. This is the situation where it would hesitate, but it didn't. And it is smooth. And I know it needs spark plugs. That is actually a pleasant surprise. Come on, get over. Get over. This car is so comfortable. Generally, it has not been my cup of tea, but I definitely see the appeal of a big car like this that just glides along. Big difference in driving my little 95 Civic with all the polyurethane bushings and coilovers. Maybe rush hour on a Friday wasn't the day to test a car that hadn't really been driven in over a year, but it's doing well. So the Avalon made it back to the house with 0 warning lights, and I was really happy about that. But in the coming days, I'm going to be putting some work into it. If you would like to follow along, hit subscribe. If you would like to see work I've done on other cars, check out the playlist. I'll have some linked in the description. Thanks for watching. Take care.